Please state your name, where you're from, and the area you were at during the events of COVID-19.
My name is Dennis Murray Jr. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. And during the time of COVID, I was staying in the Palm Coast and Ormond Beach area.
About what time did the event happen?
COVID hit around my 8th grade year towards the end. We were about to go on like spring break or something. And I just remember it was a very crazy time. I was only in 8th grade.
What concerned you most during COVID-19?
At first, when I first heard about it, it was like, oh, it's just some virus that, always happen. They always trying to scare somebody. We was just talking like, oh, we might have an extra 2 weeks off of school. And it got really serious, and I started seeing people passing away from it, and it was just like, wow, that's very crazy. Actually, one of my teachers from that school passed away from COVID, so it's very crazy times.
And speaking of, what changed about your schooling?
We went virtually completely, It was like winter break. Okay, then we had like a couple more weeks, and then we just went straight virtual. And, wasn't really seeing the teachers at all, seeing none of my classmates. I was just at home every single day.
How did that affect you?
At times I'd be very bored, and, back at that time, my mama was kind of more strict, so I wasn't allowed to play my video games until all my schoolwork was done, and, being at home, I didn't have the attention span to just want to do all my work in one sitting whenever the game was right in front of me. So, I used to just always get off track and stuff like that. But I ended up getting good grades because the schooling was a little easier.
Okay. What did you do to stay focused?
My mom ended up kind of turning like certain hours of the day into like school time. And then she used to just kind of make it into a school setting. She would take us to go to like park or something after we did some schoolwork, and then we have to come back and finish some more. So I feel like my mom really just helped me and my siblings like stay on track with our schoolwork, knowing that it would be easy grades.
Did everyone you knew properly carry out COVID safety measures?
Most of my family was honestly like against all the mask stuff. They didn't really believe in it at first, so I would say no. But on the other hand, I did know a lot of people that were wearing masks because people in their family had compromised immunity systems, stuff like that.
How did you change during COVID?
I would say, I got closer with my siblings and my family, just being around them every single day. I also say I just took care of myself, focusing on things to make myself better, especially football. At the time, I would just go outside and play football all the time and just work on my craft.
How connected did you feel with your friends, your family, and teachers during this time?
I say, like I just mentioned before, family definitely really got closer with them, just seeing them on a day-to-day basis. My friends, I had to keep up with them just through phone, FaceTime, stuff like that. It was kind of crazy that we were just able to be on the game every single day and stuff like that, and then like, even still, I'd go over to my friend's house and hang out with them, and it's just I could do that every day because I don't gotta wake up for anything. That's pretty cool.
How did the people around you change? Like, how did it affect the people around you?
I would say I definitely stopped seeing some people as much as I did. A lot of people started getting a lot paranoid just because they had family that was compromised and that could really be affected from COVID. So obviously they had to take more precaution when it came to everything. And it was probably definitely scary times for people like that. And I just had to respect their decisions.
Did you ever get sick during the event?
I got a little sick, but like whenever I had it, it wasn't anything serious, and it was like me and my family kind of went through it. My dad had got it real bad, and he was very sick, so he actually had to quarantine. And then I ended up getting a little something, but it wasn't that bad. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you lose anyone significant?
No, I did not lose anybody significant other than I would say my teacher, my history teacher at my middle school. He did pass away, I think like a year later or so, and that was kind of crazy to me because he was actually a pretty cool teacher. I used to chop it up with him after class sometimes, and I don't know, I feel like that really showed me that COVID was like dangerous, you know, that it was a real thing and that people was really suffering from it.
Did you have a job at the time?
Yes, I did. I worked with my uncle at a warehouse where he shipped out packages to people.
How did this affect your work?
I remember a few of the coworkers ended up getting real sick, and you know he had to end up like probably laying them off for a couple months. Like they couldn't come to work because that would affect other people that could get sick, and you know other people, like I said, have stuff going on at home where they can't bring that back to their house, and you know he had to lay a couple people off for a couple months, and then times got hard because there wasn't a lot of people in there working. And, you know, still a lot of orders going out because it's online shipping. So a lot of people still trying to get their products in. Short staff, so it's hard, you know. A lot of orders backed up working through lunch and stuff like that. Crazy times.
Did COVID affect you financially? Your living circumstances?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, I feel like we're definitely living a much more simple life compared to how we were. Like we weren't always going out to eat and stuff. You know, we would just always be at home trying to stay away from everything. So we weren't really going out spending money like we were before when everything was still running.
How was that transition back to school after COVID?
I remember going back to school when they had the whole mask policy, and they're very, very, very strict about it, you know. Sometimes in school you'll have the mask on and it's real hot. You know, I remember living in Florida, it's hot. In the summertime, you're sweating, face sweaty, you want to pull the mask down a little bit, you can't even do that. And it was just, you know, everybody used to hate it. And then you barely even know who people are because they have the mask on and you can't even see their face for real. And it was just like, it was crazy. It felt surreal to be in school wearing masks.
Okay. How did you personally feel about the vaccine, and how did your family feel about the COVID-19 vaccine?
I remember when the vaccine first came out, they were kind of making it seem like you would get it in a way. Like I remember some people got the vaccine and got it, or something crazy like that. And my mom was totally against that, so I never even really thought about the vaccine. But you know, I know some people that had to get it due to like being compromised and stuff like that. But I wasn't personally, I haven't got the vaccine to this day.
What are some other things that changed during that transition back to school involving the vaccine, or in general?
I would say classes were way smaller because, you know, some people just couldn't afford to be there and they would be online and stuff like that. You know, you were able to actually not even go to class sometimes and just stay home and go online. And that was just crazy to see, like, barely people in class. The school, like, events were very dead. There wasn't a lot of people around. You know, teachers don't even come up to you for real. They have to stay away. You have to be 6 feet from everybody. It was like we were living in a simulation almost, it felt like.
Feel that. Did the food change during your school time?
Yes, the food selection got pretty poor in my opinion. You know, I'm always looking to have some good lunch when it come around to that time, and you know they started just serving paper bags of very simple foods. You know, I was really thugging it off the Uncrustable peanut butter jellies.
For real.
Yeah, but you know, as COVID, like as more and more people started getting the vaccine and it was ways to cure it, we started opening up the lunch selections again, and it was real good. It started hitting back how it was supposed to.
For sure. Did you play any sports at the time?
Yes, I was playing football, and I ran track a little bit during COVID. For football, actually, it caused us to lose a couple players, a couple games because they had COVID and had to be quarantined due to the school policies, and we ended up winning the game still, but it shouldn't have been that close. And it's just crazy that it really affected that, especially with recruiting wise, with people on the team wanting to go to college. You know, you want the whole team to be there to be able to perform at your best, and I really messed up some of that stuff. You know, even if you got quarantined, you get recruited, college coach come see you, and you can't play because of COVID. You know, that's very heartbreaking for someone in high school trying to chase their dreams.
How did playing sports during this time work?
I mean, it wasn't all too different, except for like when in the beginning during summer, before school started. Summer was very, very odd. You know, we had to go outside and lift weights. We couldn't even be in the weight room because it was too compact. So that would be weird. We were outside on the field lifting weights and then have to run with the weights on the field and stuff like that, and then bring them all back inside every single day just to get work in. And that used to just be crazy stuff. But as once season started, it was kind of normal. You know, just it wasn't as many fans to begin with, but we still had a good amount of people rallying with us during those times. You bring us a good crowd support.
Did you feel a shift during this time, during the event? Like socially, politically?
I feel like politically the world was kind of all over the place. You know, nobody be like, we're agreeing with one another when it came to the whole COVID situation. And then socially, you know, just a lot of people had to distance themselves, and there also wasn't as many people to talk to. So it was like, it was only a couple of friends you had. You can't really go to people's house because you don't know what their circumstances is.
What about the economics aspect? What did you see in the world change?
People spending money on like toilet paper and stuff like that. I didn't understand that whole toilet paper thing. And you know, gas went up very, very high. I don't know. That was, yeah.
Bushy. What did you learn about yourself during this event?
I think I learned like self-worth, you know, just knowing like my true potential. You know, I kind of just dug deep day in and day out to like better myself, whether it was on the field, you know, in the classroom. Like I ended up realizing that it was kind of like a breaking time for me to just kind of get right and focus on what my dreams were.
What positive hobbies or habits did you form during this event?
I think I'd probably say track. You know, I was always faster growing up, but you know, when I got to high school, there was people just as fast as me and stuff like that, and so I ended up running track. And my coach, he is in the Florida High School Hall of Fame. He's the youngest person to be inducted, and he just poured into me, and he saw something in me, and I ended up getting really fast, and ended up being able to go to college to run track if I really wanted to, but I ended up choosing the football route. And I feel like that was something very detrimental to my success on the field as well.
Do you feel as if this event were to come back around, would things be different the way we handled it?
I don't feel like it would be too different. People tend to panic whenever they hear the word pandemic, like global pandemic, which, they also kind of have the right to, considering that it can affect the whole entire world. But, people just have to take the right precautions. Some people say all this stuff and then don't live by it, be outside doing stuff, spread it around. And, I just feel like it'd probably be a little easier, but I feel like it'd still be relatively similar.
Was this the only pandemic you've been around for?
I'd say so. Besides, maybe Ebola, I was around when